What's the agenda for this one?
So it's a 1 year on.
Okay, cool, yeah.
This time last year, you spoke to me and Andy North.
Yeah.
Last time you spoke to Nick Moss, he nearly got sacked.
Yeah.
Now we can say whatever we like.
Yeah, watch this.
So what are we releasing next week, mate?
Everything.
Everything, okay, that's what we talk about, is it? Hello, everybody, and a very warm welcome to Ask the Accountant Pitstop podcast. We are here with a very special episode. We're kind of doing a few kind of special episodes at day 2 of Accountex, and nothing gets more special than we go back to talking to our friends over at Engager and TaxCalc 1 year on from that big show-stopping announcement last year of the acquisition. And we just thought this is going to be a great opportunity to see what's going on, what's happened, what's coming out new, all that sort of stuff. So before we go any further, I mean, you don't really need it to introduce both of you, do you? But who are you? Why are you here?
So I'm a fan of the Ask the Accountant podcast.
Excellent.
I attend every Monday morning on the school run, and then when I get back into the office. So I'm Nick Moss, and I head up the pre-sales team at TaxCalc, making sure that anyone who's interested in seeing TaxCalc Engager now, as we'll talk about going forwards, understand what the software can do and make sure they make the right decision and come on board with both TaxCalc and Engager.
Love that.
I'm Johann Goree. I am the head of community for TaxCalc and Engager. So I've always looked after the community for Engager. I'm now working to bring in the TaxCalc users into that community. It's my job to feedback all the feedback we get from our users to the product team, the development team, the support teams, etc., to make sure we are always delivering what our users are looking for. And when I'm not doing that, I've got my own accounting firms, and I occasionally do a bit of podcasting with a guy called Aaron Patrick. I've not heard of him before, but...
I was going to say, they probably know who you are. All right, so we've had a year on. It doesn't feel right that it was only a year ago that announcement happened, because it was a shock to the system, shock to it was the talk of 2025 Accountex, right? Don't feel like we've had anything in 2026 of that caliber, have we? It doesn't feel like there's been anything that's anyone's gone, oh, wow. I mean, closest is the integration with Free Agent and Apron, which it's not quite the same level, is it?
I don't think we have any breaking news, as it were.
No, it's one of those ones where, myself and Johan were so busy on the TaxCalc and Engager stand yesterday that we weren't able to hear it, right? I'm sure there was a few chats at the Adfin and Engager party last night, right? I'm sure you heard a few things going on, but no, there doesn't feel like there was an announcement of that grandeur, I would say, compared to last year. But, I'm sure that, myself and Johan would be quite opinionated that was as big as it gets, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, nothing was going to top that.
And if you think about how big that announcement was, they pulled you on the stage, on the stand and everything else. You were kind of had that big announcement, big talk and everything else. How's it gone? Because you're big on it, aren't you? Yeah, and you always talk about that first 100 days, aren't you, and everything else. What about the first 365 days? How's it been? How's it been going?
It's like you say, it's weird to think it's only been a year, because it does feel very natural. And it feels like I think it's become such a natural partnership that actually, it's like when you're in a good relationship, you don't realise how long you've been in that relationship or how little time you've been in that relationship.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been an incredible 365 days. We've learned so much from Engager's point of view, from a seasoned, experienced team. Like Andy, Ash, myself, for all of our best intentions. Ash was probably the most software experienced person we had. So to then have this huge wealth of experience in the form of the TaxCalc team to ask questions to support us, it's been phenomenal.
But the other side of that, from the TaxCalc side, right, we were able to take the experience of, Engager's, agility just to go, let's just go do it, right? Yeah, rather than sometimes, sometimes when businesses can, sometimes have a few layers of approval that require a few things, with Engager coming in to go, it doesn't have to be always like that, guys. You can just go and do it, and, sometimes, I quite often go for ask for forgiveness rather than approval a lot of the times, as we know, right, guys? But yeah, having Engager coming in and just sometimes having a little bit switch of culture has allowed us to speed up a few things that maybe in the past maybe taken a little bit longer than we're doing now.
Yeah. And it's really exciting for us as like people looking outside, looking in, just to see you have that big space at Accountex, and you know, as Engager, you've done a couple of like stands here and there, and you know, it's been cool to see that kind of evolution of just being at a stand and the one laptop or the two laptops, and you kind of do it for. Now you've got that big screen and big auditorium, and that's how you can really showcase the software, right? Like having that opportunity to get in front and talk geekily about the software that you guys both love must be amazing, right?
Andy Wainwright and I walked in on Tuesday, and we kind of looked up at this big halo that says TaxCalc Engager, and that was a real kind of pincher's moment.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't have expected that up there 2 years ago.
But the thing is, you would expect it now.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? I think the expectation levels have very, very quickly changed, and like Engager belongs, you know, to be in a stand that size now, and has that drive behind it from customers and people wanting to be part of that journey. And we saw that yesterday. You know, at 11 o'clock yesterday, you know, all 12 demonstrations were filmed. There was a queue to even get on the stand at one point. Yeah, it was a stand of that size. People having to queue to get on it was kind of ridiculous, really.
Yeah, and we had the same issue at Fab, didn't we?
Yeah.
They were queuing to get onto our stand. And I think it just shows the benefit of bringing an amazing product like TaxCalc, an amazing product like Engager, putting them together, and they're lifting each other up.
Yeah.
Whether it's social awareness, brand awareness, different audiences, they've just lifted each other up over the last year.
Yeah.
To the point that we can't attend an event without a good-sized team because we know we're going to be inundated.
Yeah.
I was going through social media last night. Now, obviously, LinkedIn and stuff, it's going to be biased because it knows who I work for. But the social media that Engager and TaxCalc had, that it was just post after post from the team, visitors to the stand, the company profiles. Like, I felt like we dominated day one. And that's something Engager's always been very good at when we do events and stuff, like Engager Labs. Like, we dominated social media for like 48 hours. It was phenomenal. And we've kind of brought that, and we've been able to help TaxCalc do more of that. And TaxCalc have got a far bigger audience than us.
Yeah.
Which means actually now that audience is just growing constantly.
Yeah, with TaxCalc now having 12,500 customers, and with the integration that is coming from a compliance perspective into Engager, that's where I think we'll see that hockey stick of not saying it's not slow already, and as we know, right, in terms of the silence to Engager, but that hockey stick absolutely taking off with the benefits that having a practice management system connected to the compliance data within it is where we're really going to see those numbers take off. Because, you know, TaxCalc's got an amazing compliance tool within it for the tax and accounts tool, and adding additional formats into accounts production to cater for those mid-market firms. Having Engager now able to be usable in that mid-market space with the compliance information behind it, you know, is going to absolutely just take it off in terms of user base.
Yeah,
we felt it yesterday.
Definitely. I mean, look, if we're talking numbers, when we joined a year ago, Engager was around the 800 firms mark.
Yeah.
The other week we cost 2,000.
Yeah.
So like, we've added 1,200 firms to Engager in a year, whereas in 3 years it took us to get to 800.
Yeah.
That growth's only been possible because we've had reach into the TaxCalc user base. We've had TaxCalc utilising their resources to help us. We've got Nick and his team doing the training and the implementations and the demos and the webinars constantly. Like, I do a lot of webinars, and I did, but the volume, like, we're doing a daily training webinar.
Wow.
We're doing so many demos a day, and we just couldn't facilitate that without Nick's team and the sales teams that are within TaxCalc Engager now all working together to sell both products. So if we've done 1,200 in the first year in Engager alone, I don't know what the numbers are at the moment for TaxCalc, where you were a year ago compared to now, but that your reach into mid-market is phenomenal at the moment.
Yeah. So with Engager, the work that, say, Andy Tyrrell and Marcus Bell has put in as the groundwork for that sales piece being able to add effectively 6 more heads from my team to support that growth just gives so much more opportunity, so much more availability. People say, "Oh, I want to see Engager." You've got so much availability just booking someone's diary. You know that the standard of demonstration is going to maintain at that level, and just having so much more access to knowledge. For example, Chris previously worked at Go Proposal and saw the journey that Engager was on and wanted to be part of that as well. We've got Esther, who previously was a practice manager in practice using TaxCalc. And that firm that she left to join TaxCalc has now implemented Engager as well.
Oh wow!
So it's the proof is in the results of those firms that have had, say, TaxCalc for 10, 15 years, that are now adding Engager on side that and seeing the benefits of having that amazing cloud-based practice management system connected to the compliance data that they've been using for years.
And it must be amazing for you to have that opportunity to talk and show and sell something other than TaxCalc, because TaxCalc's been really good for you and everything else, but this just gives you another reason to have those conversations with people again, right? Open up conversations that maybe not having it. And I assume that's not dampen your spirits for acquiring something later down the line, right? Because it seems like it's all positive by the looks of it.
Oh, it filled the gap of what TaxCalc wasn't good at, right? In terms of the letter of engagement proposal, and I'm sure Johann will mention in the next few minutes about what's been released in the initial point as well. That entire initial piece in terms of pricing, the Kanban style job boards, what wasn't TaxCalc particularly great at, we've added and integrated this amazing cloud-based practice management system that just fits the gap of what our existing firms are crying out for.
Yeah. I also think as well, what you guys are doing so well is keeping up on that momentum, because you had labs, okay, pre the acquisition. Accountex 2025 was that big wow moment, everything else. But then in between that, you've had Fusion, and you've had all of these other events, right, where they felt like big tentpole moments as well, because it's like the amount of stuff you were announcing at those events and talking about at those events and everything else. This hasn't been a right, let's buy them and just like, sit on them for a bit. And like, let's be honest, in our accounting world, that's happened way too many times, hasn't it? Cool piece of software has been purchased and then they've just stagnated. We won't name any names, but that we all know it, right? That's happened and that's been there. You guys have just kind of, right, hold my beer, and you just ran with it.
We went into this back in May last year with like Ash, Andy, myself, the TaxCalc guys, the investors behind us, kind of all had one very clear mission, and that was to ensure that this wasn't a rinse and repeat of what we've seen in other acquisitions. So we were really keen to make sure that we could prove, like we'd already proved you could build a practice management tool bootstrapped without investment. Like, we'd already done that. Now we wanted to prove you can acquire and merge businesses without detrimental impact, without stalling. And I think we've done that in the last year. Like, we've released huge amounts of features in Engager, but TaxCalc's not slowed down. They've still got all the charity accounts and all the other MTD stuff done. Then we've got all of these events, like you say, where we're just constantly building that brand. We're constantly building that name, that profile, and that reach. So yeah, like, it was a very core objective, and ultimately the investors want this to be a success, because they know, in the same way that you and I have heard many a story where people have said, we were approached by X and we said no because we'd seen the damage that the previous acquisitions had done.
Yeah, exactly.
For our investors to meet their objectives in the UK accounting space, they needed this to be a success. So others would come up and go, I've seen what you've done there. We are open to a discussion.
Nice.
I think we're doing it and we're achieving it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things that I saw in the pre-merging of the businesses, right, was that if you were to look at what the values of the two organisations kind of met, they would massively overlap in terms of how they would treat and support their customers. Obviously, you're very active in the Engager and TaxCalc Facebook group, right, and the support that's given there. That shared values meant that when the two software houses came together, it felt incredibly natural. That there wasn't much pushing and pulling in terms of what people wanted or what people disagreed with how things should be done. It almost felt like, okay, cool, we're now TaxCalc Engager. Everything came together, and it was just a case of then putting the information behind the scenes to connect the two tools together, and we are well on the way of doing that. Like Johann mentioned, in November, that first phase of integration went live, and it's snowballing from there.
Yeah.
And when that compliance information starts connecting and self-assessment tax questionnaires can pull across prior year data, and that information can be filled in and can potentially go back into the tax return. That's where we're seeing that Engager is then supercharged from what was initially seen as a client engagement tool for letters of engagement and then onto proposals, to then being your core end-to-end practice management solution for your client base.
Yeah, and that was another thing that we deliberately pushed and worked bloody hard on.
Yeah.
Was to get that integration out. So some softwares have all been acquired, and 5-6 years on, we still haven't seen any major integrations.
Yeah.
Whereas we were like, no, within 6 months, we will have our first phase of our integration.
Yep.
And I reckon within 18 months of our acquisition, I think we'll be there. I think we'll have all the fundamental stuff there.
Yeah.
There's so much of it already there, and we're 12 months in. I think in the next 6 to 10 months, we'll have no issues with that. That will all be done, and now we'll be doing like the niceties, the bigger picture, the what if ideas.
Yeah. I love that. Accountex 2026, you had some cool announcements to make. Integrations, wasn't there? How we said, is it WorkIO, WorkHero, Gero, and also Engager had some announcements to make as well, didn't they, in terms of what's coming down the pipeline. TaxCalc, what do you want to talk about? What were the big ticket items from Accountex 2026?
From my side, I'll go with the WorkHero one first and save the Engager one for Johann, because that is the real showstopper from our end. But TaxCalc and Engager really wanted to have a best-in-class cloud document management system for those mid-market firms that wanted much deeper, richer functionality from a document storage perspective.
Yeah.
And the product WorkHero that's been released from the developers of Virtual Cabinet allows those firms that really want to invest in their document storage to have a browser-based storage system that connects with their compliance tool in TaxCalc, and that's something that anyone who's been at the show today has been able to get a golden ticket. That's been able to help them with their data migration training. But yeah, that's, I'd say, the big news from this show from TaxCalc specifically. But I would argue that the Engager announcements that's been happening yesterday, and later on you're going to announce it again in the roadmap session of the of what's coming, is the big ticket item from our side, I would say. Johann, would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, WorkHero is fundamentally important. Like, Engager has document management.
Yeah.
And it works for smaller firms and stuff, and it's fine. And if you're happy with the free version we have, great.
Yep.
But if you want a more powerful version and you're prepared to invest in that, like Nick says, then WorkHero is fantastic.
Yep.
And TaxCalc Engager is making a very big play for the mid-tiers market. There's no secret about that. And I think integrations like WorkHero is a really clear statement of our intent.
Yeah.
Like, we've got a new chief revenue officer. Neil's come to us from a firm, from a software where they are huge with mid-market. Like, that recruitment of Neil is hugely indicative of where we want to go. So yeah, WorkHero is just another step in that direction.
Yeah.
It's a really positive one.
Nice.
And then Engager is launching its sales pipeline. So for years we've had experts, in abbreviated commas, telling us our pricing is wrong as firms and that we aren't pricing properly. And I fell into that concept and the illusion. That's why we built the pricing tool in Engager. We've got proposals, we've got letters of engagement. But actually, when you step back and look at it, regardless of whether your pricing's right or wrong, the fundamental issue is actually the way we manage our sales in accounting firms is wrong. So we don't keep track of them. We don't have full visibility of all of our deals and our opportunities. So actually, if we can improve our deal conversion, even if we're pricing wrong, we're making more money.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've built this deal tool for sales pipeline. It launches this month in the next couple of weeks. It allows you, so we're launching a free version to start with. It'll be free until August. The free version will allow you to create all your deal cards, track your deals through the statuses and the pipeline. You can create as many different statuses as you want, so you can build it truly tailored to your workflow or your firm. And then in August, we're going to kind of relaunch. It'll be a paid-for version, but there's going to be a lot more value add by that point. The main one is going to be the ability for Form to go on your website. So we'll host this for you. It'll be a plug-in to your website. You could have it as a QR code on a business card, links to go on social medias, etc. But the principle is that your prospects will fill this form in, potentially while you're asleep. You wake up in the morning, you go into Engager, and you've got new deal cards sat there, populated all the information, the services that you want, all the questions you want to ask.
Yeah.
All that information is going to be there. And we're not doing what a lot of softwares do. We'll go, it's free, and it's free for now, we'll charge later, and not telling you what it's going to cost. We know that puts people off using tools. So there's some big names in this room that have shown us that through experience, that we'll do it for free, we won't tell you how much it's going to be or when, and people don't use it, they don't trust it.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we're saying, right, it's free for now. In August or summer, it'll be chargeable. It goes behind a paywall with the new features, but we're telling you the price today as well. And the price is 15% of your monthly subscription. So if you're a tiny firm, you pay a tiny amount. If you're a big firm, you pay more. So it's fair and it's scalable for anybody of any size.
But on that point, Johann, even if you're a really large firm using it, it's still an incredibly low additional cost for the benefits that you get for it.
Yeah.
This is what accounting practice has been crying out for, is that end-to-end approach from a prospect going on their website and filling in effectively a get a quote form that TaxCalc has had internally for years for our own sales pipeline, but being able to allow accounting practices to run their practice like a business fundamentally.
Yeah,
So many practices forget to run their practice like a business. We're giving them that opportunity for an incredibly low additional fee for those firms.
Yeah. So as an example, if you've got 100 clients on Engager, you pay $59.99 plus VAT a month. That means that the sales Kanban pipeline is £8.85 a month.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll be paying 40 quid a month to HubSpot for a very basic version.
Yeah.
So actually, we're still a fraction of the price of all the big names out there.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the big one as well is the fact that you guys, especially now with the TaxCalc integration, it's not just going to be about releasing a cool new tool like this, but it's supporting that tool as well, right? TaxCalc TV, and I know, Engagers was built for blood, sweat, and tears from yourself doing like your weekly shows and stuff, right? But the fact that there's that, and there's the TaxCalc TV, and there's the support team that you've got built up there. I think that's the exciting thing, isn't it? This isn't just let's do a tool, and regardless of what the price is, but just do a tool and just let it go out there. You're always committed to supporting and making your users have a better experience because of it, right?
Yeah, I can't wait to show the pipeline on a TaxCalc Engager Power Hour. That for me is that's the prime resource that we have, where we usually get somewhere around the 300 user mark of TaxCalc, where it's not a sales bit by any stretch of imagination. This is what is functionally available in the TaxCalc Engager product. This is how you can use it to its fullest degree and get the most out of it for how much it costs. So yeah, the Power Hour is me the absolute prime example of what TaxCalc Engager stand for, where it's a case of, yes, you're a user of the product, but let's get you using it to the most amount, rather than, in 6-12 months time going, I'm not really using it particularly as well as I could. And those daily webinars you referenced earlier is exactly that. Free live webinars for you to jump on, ask as many questions you've got around so many different sections of the Engager TaxCalc product to make sure that you're using it to its full ability.
And I mean, we need to get you in to see the TaxCalc TV studio.
Yeah.
I mean, you will cheat on your wife. It is incredible. I've never seen so much black magic gear in one room.
I love it.
It's amazing. But it's because we've got all this infrastructure now that we can keep doing all of these training sessions. So, I was thinking yesterday I'm going to have to go to speak to Lisa in Nick's team about revamping the script, as it were, for one of the training sessions, which is proposals and letters of engagement. We now need to build the sales Kanban into that and teach people how to use it. Nick and I have got numerous webinars coming up to cover all of this support and get all this word out there. And that's one of the things that you and I really enjoy doing together, is like we look forward to doing our joint webinars and our power hours and the Christmas special when he's sat there dressed up as a Christmas tree.
You gotta have a bit of fun, haven't you? You know what I mean? Yeah.
There are customers, right? It's that personal approach that I think that both TaxCalc and Engager give to our customer base. That we are real people, and we want you to be part of our community. We're not one step removed from you. We are you. I mean, we're lucky to have the fact that you're both Johann and Andy Wainwright, our customers at TaxCalc at the same time, right? They understand what it's like when they see our internal processes touch their actual practices in terms of what's the ability to add another license on, what's the renewal process like, right? They're in the lucky position that they understand what it's like to be a TaxCalc customer and can make sure that the process that we have and the communication we have with their staff members is right for the entire user base across that.
Definitely. Love that. Right, any of the cameras you want, plug away. Where can they find the Power Hour? Where can they find more information out there?
You're the big one on this.
So, Power Hour, you can register for those on the TaxCalc website. We do a weekly live every Wednesday night with myself, Engager. I am fielding more and more TaxCalc questions as best I can. I'm not an expert. I use it in my firm, but the true experts are Nick and his team. So they also do lots of weekly webinars and stuff as well. The Engager training webinars are every single day. We have 8 themes and one getting started one every Friday. They cycle around every single 2 weeks and they're live. So you get to ask all your questions. We're not doing any of this recording and just playing the recording each day. They're properly live, interactive webinars. So you can find out all of the details about TaxCalc or Engager from either of our websites, taxcalc.com, engager.app. There's also links to each other on our websites, as you'd expect. And just come and talk to us at events. Like Nick and myself are at pretty much every single event. We absolutely love it. And I think part of the beauty of the acquisition a year on is actually, yeah, we've done amazing things with development and stuff, but we're more than colleagues. We've built friendships.
Yeah.
Like when we're down in Wokingham for a meeting, we'll go out for a pint the night before, we'll have some dinner. We all genuinely enjoy spending time with each other. And that really helps benefit the users in the end, because we're a very genuine, driven group of people who are all very motivated to help support the users and very passionate about our products.
Love that. Love that. Nick, any final words from yourself?
Just following on from Johann, really, I would say that both with Engager and TaxCalc, you can take free trials of the products, right? So if you're interested to know more about what both systems offer, you can go to either websites Johann mentioned and take free trials of it, right? We're not hiding it behind, you have to take a demonstration first, or we have to come out to your office. If you don't want that, if you just want to play around with it without feeling like you have to speak to anyone, and both systems are intuitive enough that you don't have to be guided through it if you don't want to, take the free trial, get some clients in there, and actually, understand why so many practices are moving to both the systems.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that. Brilliant. Well, that's it. That has been an episode of Ask the Accountant Pitstop podcast. 1 year on. So maybe you've got to change your actual talk now. It's not first 90 days, first 365 days of an acquisition and go through from there. Yeah, 1 year on for TaxCalc and Engager. That big news we heard this time last year. And by the sounds of it, things can only get better. So if you want more content like this one, you're in the right place, make sure you like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff, as we make sure that we give you all of the insights into the world of accountancy. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Johann. Thank you for coming along.
Thank you for having us.
And we will look forward to it. Shall we do it again this time next year? See how it's going?
We're going to have plenty to talk about.
Yeah, we should do.
We're not slowing down.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's nice for a fan of the podcast to be on it for a finally. Yeah. I'll definitely be tuning on every Monday morning. Keep going, get your comments in. I love that they're live on the Monday morning, by the way. And lots of likes of Kirsty and Mehul are in there, putting their comments in there, getting their questions answered by you guys. It's those live webinars you mentioned. Love it. Nice to be on it.
Cheers, Nick. Thank you very much. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.